guys, ready to get started? I'm going to go ahead and get the timer going here. All right, thank y'all so much for joining us today. I'll start here. I'm sorry my voice is not fantastic, you know, seasonal stuff. So anyways, this is as loud as I can get, but I promise this will only be now less than 25-minute session. I truly value your time, and I recognize too, guys, this is my 17th year in education, so I get it when you're like, hey, I need my prep time. So I want to make sure that I'm being valuable of your time and mindful of that. I just want to show you this really cool website called Classroomscreen.com. So if you have your laptop, if you'll go to Classroomscreen.com, okay, and we're going to actually play around with it a little bit today. But I just feel like, you know, today's the Grinch day, and I feel like what better way to actually show what this site can do by also kind of giving you an example. So notice you also got these little cards on your desk. You're actually characters from How the Grinch Stole Christmas. That's going to come into play here in just a second. I want you to watch this really small clip about how the Grinch woke up this morning and see if we can relate to anything.
With the greasy black peel, you're about one. You got termites in your smile. You have fallen to the sweetness of a seasoned crocodile. You're about one. Friends you don't have. I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole. You're a monster. Your heart's an empty hole. You got garlic with a soul. Autumn smiles, homie, I turn up, frown. Autumn decoration, I tear them down. You got axe, max, I don't play them round. Who is this mean fellow with his skin up?
This is really cute. I mean, you can continue playing it, but I just wanted to see if you can relate to any of those things. So I'm going to hit this student randomizer, which is over here. If you can find my cursor. Here it is. Okay, so Max. Who's my Max?
I'm Max.
Okay, so Max, what is something you related to in that video?
Just having to be on your tiptoes first thing in the morning to serve the peoples.
Having to be on the tiptoes every single day. That's true.
Cookies, right?
Okay, Cindy Lou.
I wish I had a Max to make me coffee.
I wish I had a Max too to make me coffee. All right. Okay, and last time, Cindy Lou. What do you think again? What's something else?
I think I would be happy to wake up to Jackson 5 singing if it was.
You would have been okay with the radio going off the Jackson 5. Okay, so let me show you just a really quick presentation here. It's 4 slides. I promise it's not much. Okay. So here's the fun facts I need you to see. The fun facts is it's absolutely free. So my thing is I still work at UTC right now working with pre-service educators. And it's one of those things that I've worked there for, this is my 3rd or 4th year with UTC, and I used to work at Georgia Southwestern State University and then also University of Alabama. But it's one of those things of I don't bring it to the table unless it's free and usable right now today. So it's absolutely free. You can play videos just like we just did. I just linked in a video. You can do a student randomizer just like we did as well to pick students' names. So that's kind of what we call it, like popsicle sticks or equity sticks, or you pull students' names out. Timer clock, you can insert pictures, you can insert announcements, and you have interchangeable backgrounds. Now, can you pay more like money for this and it saves a lot of your options? Yes, you can, but I've never paid for it. So
Dr. Davis?
Yeah.
When you say insert videos, are you just like uploading a YouTube link or a Daily Motion link, any video?
It could be any video you want.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good question. Most of the time it asks you for a YouTube link. It likes YouTube, but I would say I don't think it causes you an issue. Just as long as it's a video link, it shouldn't be a problem. All right, so let's actually try it. Yeah, this cursor. Where are you? There it is. Okay, so I'm going to move this one out of the way. Just so you can see some fun stuff this thing can do. So you notice that Cindy Lou Who got chosen more than one time. Because this is, when you click on the settings over here, you can tell it to remember the students or to not remember the students. All right, because that was always an issue for me in the classroom when I did the popsicle sticks. Because we'll say, if I pull Cindy Lou Who's name at the last 5 minutes, or the first 5 minutes of that bell ringer, the date, if I pull Cindy Lou Who's name, and then she knows I'm never going to pull her stick again, well, now she's off task as soon as I pull her stick. Because she's like, it's like if I had a jar, I pulled her stick, her name out, and then put it on the table. So now she's going to disengage from me. But it's not like I put her stick back in the jar and move it around again. I really like this because now, it used to be when I would do just with sticks and pull their name out. If I kept pulling Cindy Lou's name, she'd be like, you just don't like me. I'm like, it's not me. I was like, but it is you. So it's the computer that's pulling it, not me. It's randomizing it. All right, there's also different, like you can make it invisible, which is pretty cool. Okay, and you can make it different colors to match the theme of your background. I'm just going to go back with the screen. Okay, I'm not going to tell it to remember you because I want it to keep asking you. Okay, let's go to, this is nice because you can choose what level you want our students to talk at. So you can tell them, hey, right now everyone should be silent because you're supposed to be reading. Right now you can whisper, you can ask a neighbor, or you can work together. So I used to, when I worked at Pell City High School as a high school science teacher, we went through a training called CHAMPS. And CHAMPS is like classroom management stuff, and we used it for the entire school system. And what it was, it's a lot, it's just like this. And so what we're doing is we're letting the students know when they come into the room at what level should they be. And then when we change activities, we let them know at what level is it okay to go to now. So when they're working together in groups, I can put work together. But if it's like, hey, we're watching a video, okay, then maybe everybody should be quiet. Also too, if I feel like there's a problem with the noise level in the room, or hey, I feel like they're doing a good job, I'm gonna give them a green, they're doing a good job. If I feel like you're getting a little bit too loud, then I'm gonna go to yellow. Okay, you're getting a little bit too loud. And then when it's like, hey, that's just too much, when I hit that red, then they know that's it, I'm about to get some kind of privilege taken away. Okay, this one, to be honest, I've never really used. Okay, you can actually, it's a noise indicator. You can actually listen through your computer monitor, like your actual speakers, and listen to how loud the room is, and it'll give you like if it's too loud. So it actually gives you decibel readings, which is cool. So as a science teacher, I like that, but I kind of don't want any kind of app listening through my computer, just to be honest. Okay, so I don't really use that one so much. Over here, you've got the time. I like it too because in the time, it can even give you this type of clock as well, because I know a lot of our students struggle even reading this type of clock. All right, so they can see that this is the time it's actually reading. You can go over with the students as well at the hour hand and the second hand. I like this one over here too because if maybe I want to move this to 16 minutes, okay, and hit it here too. Some of our students do well with this indication of time. Some of them need more of a visual reminder, especially some of maybe my ESL students. All right, so it helps them to figure out, you know, how much time do I have left in this class. I will say one of the ways that I really enjoyed this one is that I taught a student about 11 years ago that I've never seen a student have a struggle with this, but she struggles with time. The thing is like she can't understand a length of time. So for her, sitting down for an hour is like eternity. A minute is an hour. So she doesn't understand time. Her brain just doesn't understand. She's fully diagnosed with this medical condition. So a way we helped her to get through that was to see how much time you have left. So she would look up at the board and be able to see that countdown. And even the numbers, numbers didn't mean anything to her. She needed to see that pie chart, it going down. And I would even have to tell her, hey, you have 5 minutes left in class. Of course, to her that meant 5 hours, but she could still see it on the board. Okay, Okay, I'm down to this much time. I need to go ahead and pack up. Okay, also too, you see down here that we can put in text. So I can put in my announcements. Okay, and then there's our student randomizer. There's a timer as well. I want to just show you here. Down here is where we access all these features. So background, I can go to Christmas and click see all. And look at all these. These are beautiful. And here's the thing though, like even these were here with the little videos, they're the ones that kind of have motion in the background. So this one, like the flame in the background for the fireplace will crackle. It'll have like those little flames. This one will have like little shiny shimmeries in the back. Don't know necessarily how we feel about that because sometimes my students are like, squirrel. You know, so just letting you know. And then also too, the pros are beautiful too, but I'm not paying for them, just saying. All right, so those you have to pay for. Okay, and then sometimes I like to just let my students choose which background we're doing that day, and they can just do random ones. Like, for example, I love it when they pick something like this, like just cause, you know. I mean, look, just cause to make them out. I mean, that's fine. You know. So down here we've got the background, we've got the poll. Poll is one that I have not attempted yet, I'll be honest. They're trying to add more things to make the site more usable and friendly to teachers, which I appreciate. But the thing is there's got to be some way that these students access these polls. And again, it leads into things that I don't really want to get into personally. So you guys are more than welcome to check that out. There's that student randomizer that we just did, like with Cindy Lou Who. There's the sound level, which is this one right here. The images, we can add images in there. So like when we do our 12 Days of Christmas, for example, I went ahead and put in that 12 Days of Christmas in my bell ringer. So when the students come in, they see that timer every day on the board. They see what time it is. They also see the announcements, the bell ringers that I have, and I also put that picture, like usually down here to the right, about don't forget about the 12 Days of Christmas, or this is just the one that's coming up the next day. Okay. Text is where you just enter an announcement, for example. I can type right there. I can move it wherever I want on the screen. Okay, work symbols, again, that's that one right there about at what level do you, and say if I don't want it, I just come here and click the little trash can. Okay, so a timetable, you can even put a timetable for yourself, which I appreciate as a teacher, so you can, and students as well. You can actually put on there like how much time I want to put for each activity in the class, so like maybe 5 minutes for a bell ringer, or 10 minutes for this activity, or 20 minutes for you working on a project, which is great, but we all know that, you know, life happens and sometimes you just can't work that way. Sometimes you have to go up here and actually, you know, come to your timer and add a couple of minutes or take a couple of minutes away, depending on how fast your students are working. Okay, back here at the bottom, that timer, again, is that one that's in the top left. That's going the clock. We've already seen it from the top right. And if you go to more, like I said, they're adding so many more options on here. So that's a video where you just click on video and you insert your link. For math teachers, they have dice, where you can actually do some dice, like it just throws dice out there so you can do like proportions or ratios. Okay, you've got webcams, so you can even pull a webcam in here too. Visual timer, which is this one right here. The calendar, so I can pull in a calendar if I want to talk to students about different dates that are coming up, like maybe practices or performances or whatever we have coming up. Okay, we've got a stopwatch, so we can do a stopwatch. This helps me out too if I'm doing experiments with them, say they're trying to test how fast they can do something in the classroom, for example, for a skill. You can draw on this like a board. You can do drawing with your mouse. That's embed if you want to embed a link. So if I want to embed it to, well, say for us, I would go to the Georgia Ag Ed website or FFA. And so I can immediately just put that link right up here. So instead of me having to type it in a new tab, I can just click it right there on my screen. You can put a QR code. You can embed, like how I did the video, which is the video right here, but you can also embed other websites there too. You're asking about websites. You can embed that there, and a hyperlink as well. All right, and then stickers. This is how I got my little snowman down here. This is how I got my Christmas tree. There's all kind of fun stickers you can put on there. And then scoreboard. You can actually do a scoreboard, like if you're playing a game. So maybe you're practicing something for, health or PE. I mean, there's stuff that you take and score, project this up anywhere you are, and you can, or just put it on your computer and turn it around and keep tab of the score. So I think it's just really nice. It's really helpful. I just want to use the rest of this 10 minutes for you guys to kind of play with it and see how you could use it in your classroom. I wouldn't, I wouldn't recommend putting all this stuff on there at one time. I would say start small. Even if it's just, hey, I'm going to put a bell ringer up there or a Merry Christmas message before they leave out. You think that kind of stuff, just, hey, they're probably not even going to look at the screen. But it really does matter because they'll say things like, oh, that's really cool how the fireplace flickers. Or, hey, thank you for saying Merry Christmas to me. You're the only person who say Merry Christmas to me. Or thank you for caring about me. So this kind of stuff actually can help you connect with your students. Even if it's like you're not saying things out loud, especially if you're maybe not so much of a verbal, outgoing person, maybe it's, you just put that message up here, let them know how much you appreciate them and love them, and you're going to miss them over the break. And it helps out too. Do y'all have any questions before I come around and help out?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
I will say something that really kind of frustrated me and I had to find a workaround for technology was when I taught at a high school level, I had 7 classes a day. And so 7 class periods, it was a struggle between class periods to change my students' names in the student randomizer. So let me show you what I wound up doing. I'm glad you asked that question. Came down here to my student randomizer and I will just click edit. Let's find my names, choose list, and I could just select all and delete those names. And I would go to my other document that I already have first period's names, second period's names, and especially if I have a kid. You ever have that time where you keep when that kid stick out and it's like he's not there? So this is also a great way to do attendance, I found too, by the way, a really fast way. So as they're coming in, I'm just checking them off on here, make sure they're there, and if they're not there, I just take their name off for the day. And so then I just copy this list over, okay, and I paste it into here. And the biggest thing is just make sure that whatever, we'll just say Mayor Augustus is 2 words, just make sure it stays on the same line, and then when you hit enter, it goes to the next person's name. Okay. So what I'm saying is you don't want to put Mayor and then hit enter and then Augustus because it's going to read as 2 different names. All right, so then you just hit continue and automatically keeps it. It's got it. So the only problem that I have with that, as soon as you close this out, if I close this tab right now, I'd have to do it all over again. That's I think the only downfall for this. But I will say, I keep these up. I can show you my other tabs that I have up for my other screen for my classes right now. That it keeps it up. As long
I was
as
going to say you could open up multiple screens
Yeah.
at a time on multiple tabs and just have one for each block. I just tried it to see if you could do it and you can.
Yes, bless you. Yeah, I was about to
Set up
say.
all first, second, third, fourth, and fifth block.
Right, just go ahead and set up in each tab a second, third, fourth, fifth block. And so it's already set up to go. All you have to do is just. And I will say too, I like it that you can have multiple timers going, because what I do every time is. I don't know about you guys, but I still struggle with having multiple bell schedules. And so what I always do is I always have the bell schedule for that day right over here. And so I know for my regular bell schedule, I have 65 minutes for each class period. And so I automatically start my bell schedule. So I have 65 minutes going. And then if I look back, because you always have to, hey, we're either 1 minute late or 5 minutes late or 2 minutes early or whatever. I can go ahead and change that to whatever it is, hit play. So this is still going in the background. So maybe I want this activity to last for the next 4 minutes and 55 seconds, but this is how much time I still have left in the class. So it helps me keep track of class time and activity time at the same time. So you can have multiple timers on there at a time, which is nice. And you can hide these too behind each other, so the kids don't even know that they're occurring. So it's really, to me, this app has been great for keeping students on task, but also keeping me as a teacher on task too, to keep me pacing, moving, to recognize this is how much time I have left. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna come around and let you guys just play with that. If y'all have any questions for me, just let me know. So I'm just gonna walk around.